Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzmonk TV here, aka GLauren33, and I am here with your My Hero Academia chapter 280, my bad, chapter 280 review for you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks. I didn't even do a chapter 279 review. I wasn't feeling that good last week. No worries, I didn't have corona, but I just didn't really feel like it, so instead, I took the week off, but we're right back here on the grind, chapter 280, and man, this arc continues to get more and more wild, and each and every single week, I continue to have my heart taking from my chest, because, what they're doing with these characters right now is just absolutely wild. But we're gonna go through the chapter really quickly, and let's talk about it. So the battle with Gigantomachia. I know some of you guys said I could pronounce his name incorrectly, but that's the way I like pronouncing it. Wrong or correct doesn't matter, so I'm gonna continue saying that. But either way, the chapter opens up with the students receiving a huge blast of fire from Dabi, and it burns the woods and everything around them. We see the students asking each other if they are okay, and a student from class 1B holds a pretty injured Kimnari. So Kimnari is injured. So like I said, I keep getting the feeling that somebody from UA is going to die in this arc, and that's going to change the entire landscape of Hero Society. We've already seen Hero Society's already been taken out, thanks to what Shigaraki did at the hospital. But, the icing on the cake would be for one of these students to die, especially a student from Class 1A. After everything they've been through in just their first year alone, and now to start off year 2 by losing somebody, crazy. So we see Serial. He laments that he managed to avoid the last blast of fire, but that states that some of the other students did not. The scene then pans to show we see Mina heading straight for Gigantomachia's mouth, and Mina and Kirishima get big moments in this chapter, so just a quick heads up. But she is surrounded by her acid, and this is like an armor that cannot be harmed by fire. So basically, she's able to go through Dabi's, fire attack and be able to get right up close to Gigantomachia. Mina's staring right into Gigantomachia's mouth, and she's briefly, struck by fear. And that's, okay. And that's also predictable. She's a student. She thinks of Mineta and him asking if Midnight is alive. And you guys know I'm still terrified. We have no idea if Midnight is alive. A couple chapters ago, it looked like she may have been taken out by members of the League of Villians. We didn't see what happened to her. I hope she survived, but we have no idea. And she says that she will continue her willpower to fight without faltering. It appears that Gigantomachia then receives Shigaraki's command against to reach Shigaraki by the shortest distance possible. And remember, we haven't seen Shigaraki, Deku, Bakugo, Endeavor in them for a couple chapters, since the focus has now been on Class 1A trying to stop Gigantomachia. So we see Gigantomachia now. He has a renewed sense of purpose because he knows he needs to reach Shigaraki. And Mina imagines herself in her middle school uniform as she throws the anesthetic towards his mouth. This basically symbolizes her overcoming her fear of that time and the fear in the current situation as she attempts to complete the objective. So you can see her story here is overcoming that fear. Remember, she is a student. She's not a hero yet. And part of becoming a hero is being able to face down fear and confront it head on. So we see as Mina confronts this fear, she goes to throw the anesthetic. Gigantomachia suddenly slams himself down into the ground and closes his mouth. So it's like he has some kind of awareness of what's going on as how they're trying to get the anesthetic in his mouth. Mount Lady had been holding, his mouth open for a grip, and he begins to rage and throws Mount Lady away by only losing one arm. So you can see how powerful he is. And Mina tries to throw the anesthetic up from a very far distance below him, even though it is very unlikely that it will land in his mouth. Mina still tries to throw it anyway. As soon as the anesthetic leaves her hand, Gigantomachia's hand is touching her and ready to grab her. And we all know how huge, Gigantomachia's hands are. He would be able to probably crush anybody with those hands pretty easily. So right at this moment, as Mina sees that she's in danger, Kirishima stands up, and it's ironic, because this chapter is called Red Riot. And Kirishima jumps between Mina and Gigantomachia's palm while he's in his hardened form, and he shoves Mina away from Gigantomachia. So it's almost like a self-sacrifice. But we all know that Kirishima has that his hardening. We also see Tetsuo catch Mina from her mid-air fall, and he says to her, "Stand up. Gigantomachia is up again, and we need to extinguish the fire." Mina is still not focused on the situation at hand, yelling, "Tetsuo!" Kirishima is, and looking forward to try and spot Kirishima. This part, it can be a little bit unclear about, the translations I have here are a little bit weird, but what we believe is going on is Tetsuo thinks to himself, by willpower alone, I guess, he ran further than me and I ran after him. So basically Kirishima pushing himself beyond his limits to get there in time to save his friend. We then see that Gigantomachia has stood back up and has the League in his palm. He tells the members of the League to grab on, but suddenly he hears Kirishima climb back up Gigantomachia's arm. It appears that Kirishima is saying, "I will put my fierce anger and regret behind me." Here, he is likely referring to when he did not act to save Mina once before back in their middle school days. You guys remember that episode from season 4 when I'm trying to remember. I think, Kirishima was on his internship, and that's when we saw him use the hardened form beyond his limits for the first time. It's the first real appearance of Red Riot, so we're getting a nice little callback back here. Plus, you guys remember Kirishima and Mina's middle school days, and I really do like that Easter egg. So basically, we see Kirishima go face to face with Gigantomachia and is about to throw the bottle of anesthetic, but as he throws it, Toga throws her knife straight through the bottle and it explodes. So it looks like, Class 1A, their plan failed, and as all the contents are leaking all around the environment. And it looks like the jar is now useless. Kirishima slips another jar out of his pocket and begins doubting himself as he throws it. But the jar lands straight in the Gigantomachia's mouth, and it makes a clicking noise as it lands inside. The students then all rejoice that Kirishima has completed the objective. Gigantomachia complains aloud about the situation, and then the scene pans back to the hospital with Shigaraki and company. So it looks like Gigantomachia was, or at least has been stopped for the moment, but we're not exactly sure. We still, have to wait. It's ironic, that they panned right back to Shigaraki in the hospital right at that moment. So we have, like I said, we haven't been with Shigaraki and Deku for a couple chapters, and we see someone say, "That's it." We then see Shigaraki on the ground. This is the most damage we've seen Shigaraki in this arc. Shigaraki's on the ground, and his clothes are torn, and he looks worse for wear. Endeavor then says Shigaraki and laments that he isn't sure about how much progress they can make in this fight if they're unsure about Shigaraki and his powers. Like, remember, they don't know, what's the full extent of Shigaraki's powers. So basically then we see Shigaraki says, "Ha ha ha ha, you heroes. You saved someone instead of taking care of your families. It's my father's word." And then this catches Endeavor by surprise. So basically Shigaraki's saying, you take down villains instead of saving those you care about. It's like, what's going on? Remember, there's not much left. Heroes have already been destroyed. Everything's covered in Shigaraki's decay, and we don't know who really else is in danger. It looks like Gigantomachia has been stopped, so why would Shigaraki say something like this? But I feel like this is more Shigaraki just talking to himself instead of to Endeavor and the rest of them. But we see Shigaraki. It's unclear to what he's referring to, but Shigaraki is so injured that, he struggles to pull himself up and onto his hands and his knees, but it looks like Shigaraki is still determined to fight. So I'm not sure if Shigaraki is defeated, but it looks like, Endeavor and company may be able to at least stop him from causing any more damage. Remember, he still has those quirk-destroying bullets. He still has All for One's power, so I don't know. I don't think, it's that easy, but we'll still have to wait and see. So now as we reach the end of this chapter, all right, we now have Shigaraki back as the focus. Gigantomachia has been stopped in his traps for now. We'll see how long that lasts. But, Shigaraki's now in trouble. But like I said, he still has all these other resources that he can use that our heroes are probably not aware of. So will they actually be able to stop Shigaraki? He is damaged, but he still has all these other powers. So I don't know, but definitely they're trying to give us at least that there's some kind of hope, there's some kind of belief that our heroes can make it out. At least the ones that are still alive. So let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. It was pretty good. So good to see Kirishima back in the focus, because we haven't really seen him do anything for a while. But happy to see Kirishima get a moment here. Also, love seeing Mina there as well. But definitely I'm excited to get back to the main battle with Deku, Endeavor, Bakugo, Izawa, and Shigaraki. So definitely next chapter is going to be a big one. Cannot wait for that, and we'll be covering it right here on the channel as always. Thank you guys for the love and support. I'm gonna get out here. If you guys enjoy these weekly reviews of the My Hero Academia manga, continue to support me. Like the video, comment, subscribe, enable notifications by clicking the bell next to my name, Fitzbun TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe and healthy. Peace.